Hey guys, this is Finger991, and I'm bringing you my last of the Walking Dead Season 3 character bios. Now, you may be thinking, wait a minute, there's 2 characters left. Yes, there are, but they're getting a bio together. Why? Because I believe these character stories are basically intertwined, and they affect each other so much that it's better probably to do them together. Plus, if I just did Javi by himself, would Javi be that wrong? Because let's face it, Javi's personality is chosen by the character, so I'd only have to go off his base character. Without further ado, the characters are, of course, David and Javi Garcia. Now, from the very beginning, we could kind of tell these characters were going to be probably a big part of the game. You hear David talking to Javi, and then you see them outside their house. And if you listen carefully, you realize that the writers really took a big inspiration from the story from the Bible, the prodigal son. I mean, Javi is the younger son who goes out and wastes his fortune and has to come home, and David is the older brother who's responsible.
¿Dónde está Javier? ¿Dónde está mi hijo? I'm there, right beside him, holding his hand, like a good son.
So, yeah, big inspiration. Moving on, though, once the outbreak starts, we don't really see David until episode 3. And you kind of realize the guy hasn't changed. He's a soldier, he's leading people, he's, doing what he can. And you kind of tell that these brothers were supposed to be polar opposites, right? Javi being the irresponsible one and David being the responsible one. David being the soldier and Javi being the guy who kind of just wastes his time. But here's the thing. When the outbreak starts, Javi and David kind of switch places, in a sense. Why? Because Javi is now the responsible one. I mean, he's taking care of David's family, not even his own, which shows that he has a kind of base family instincts. Like, you guys are my family. I'm going to take care of you. And then in episode 3, when Javi gets kicked out, you once again see the strong family ties that these brothers have, leaving them the map on a bat for that matter. So it kind of just showed the relationship that these brothers still had. It was still a strong bond despite being gone from each other for so long. I mean, the fact that David was willing to risk his life to go see Javi at the shelter or whatever that place was really showed the strong bond they have. Now, I can't really talk about these two without mentioning the one person that could have possibly tore the brothers apart during the whole game, and that, of course, is Kate. Yes, she's the center of the love triangle between the brothers. Once episode 3 kind of ends, once we're hit with a decision, and once again, it doesn't kind of make sense. Kate is trying to convince Javi to leave. Javi is supposed to obviously meet David. So in reality, this just doesn't make sense, because even if Javi is still like the deserter, which he isn't, the fact that he took care of David's family all those years shows that Javi's personality has changed. Javi is no longer the guy who's just thinking about himself. He's actually thinking about others. So it doesn't really make sense that he just want to leave New Frontier all of a sudden with Kate. But I think this was just Telltale being Telltale. They were like, you know what? We got to have a reason to kind of draw this line between the brothers. And they used Kate to do it in both situations. But then episode 4 happens and David's locked up most of the time. But we actually get to learn more about David's personality. How? Through Ava and through the doctor, actually. Why? Because we learned that David, despite being all hard and tough and stuff, he's able to actually somewhat inspire people. You see how he did it with Ava, and you see how he did it with the doctor.
When your brother found me, he got me to care about everything I'd given up on.
So yeah, this is a side of David we really don't see. And I kind of wish that the writers didn't just leave this to like off-camera scenes, because it would have been good to see David kind of being more inspiring, maybe more open, maybe more willing to conversation instead of just barking orders. But anyway, episode 4 ends with, of course, David being like, no, I'm not leaving New Frontier. Basically seems to feel like, nah, this is the place that we built, and I'm not leaving here because this is my home. And of course it makes sense that he doesn't want to leave. But then episode 5 had to rear its ugly head. I tell you, episode 5 kind of just tore everything that the first 4 episodes were building. Now, at the beginning of episode 5, we actually see David. For David, we see him being like, listen, I'd build this here, I'd do this here, and he's being a soldier. He's being David. Because right now, Richmond is in chaos, and David kind of wants to bring order to the chaos. And that's the type of person he is. He's gonna come, he's gonna bring order, right? Then the terrible scene had to happen where David wants to abandon New Frontier and go home. I'm sorry. Telltale threw out all of this guy's personalities, just completely threw it out and was like, okay, we're gonna make him a deserter now. No. So I understand what they were maybe trying to do, but they didn't do it that well. The zombie outbreak has caused Javi to be the irresponsible one and David to be the deserter. It's a good kind of story, a message kind of. But the way they did it was just awful. David's transition from soldier to deserter was just too quick, and it was done poorly. Despite the fact that Javi's transition from deserter in a sense to responsible guy was done pretty well. You could definitely see how the years of the zombie outbreak and taking care of his brother's family has affected him, how he has become more responsible guy and seems very close to his family and wants to protect them. So I understand what they were trying to do, but I just think they failed poorly. Well, that's my take on the brothers. What did you guys think about them? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. May God bless you all.